Now let's update the style for the next and previous buttons. Now let's use the Bootstrap classes for them too. So let's assign class to the previous button, and the class is btn, then the btn-outline-secondary, and this is going to be using the secondary color for the button. And let's make sure this button is small size, and we will apply same classes to the next button also. And we also want this button to be separated. The previous button will be visible right here on the left bottom corner, and the next button will be visible on the right bottom corner. And we do this by using float-right. Let's save this. So the style of the button is updated, and if we click next, here we can see previous and next are visible, but the positions are not correct. Let's wrap these buttons with a div here, and let's use class. We are in cart component, so let's use the cart footer for this style. And now the style is better. We see the next on the right bottom, and when we click the next is visible, and the previous also visible. So we are able to click them and they are properly positioned. Let's add one more styling to the buttons here. Svelte is offering transitions, and since this next and previous buttons are becoming visible or invisible, we can practice that functionality right here. So first, let's import the fade function from svelte/transition. And here for the buttons, we can set these transitions like this using transition directive, and it's going to be fade, and repeating same thing for the next button. Let's save this. So we have a failure in this one. It hides next page link at last page. We will get to it, but first let's practice how this is working. So when we click next, here we can see the previous is fading in, and when we click the previous, it is fading out. So when this element, this button, is inserted to the page, it is fading in with this transition directive, and when it is going to be removed, it is fading out. Same thing is also applied for the next, and the next is hidden after the last page. So clicking next and the next button is gone, and clicking previous, the next is visible again. Let's resize this window to make it visible. So clicking previous, and here we are seeing the next is fading in. But this behavior is breaking our test because this animation is taking time to complete. Alternatively, we can use in and out directives, and we can use different animations for each of these directives. So for instance, when an element is inserted to the document, we can use one animation, and when it is out of the document, we can use another animation. So let's try that one. So we have this fade animation, and we have also the fly animation. So instead of having this transition, we can set when this element is into the document, use the fade, and when it is out, let's use fly animation. And we can set properties for this animation, like this one. We have double curly braces. We can set the coordinates. We can set the directions. So for instance, we can say in the X direction, go at -20 pixel, and the duration will be 200 milliseconds. So let's also apply same thing to the next button. And for this one, we can say move to 20 pixel in the X coordinate. So basically this -20 is making this previous to fly to the left, and the next button will be flying to the right in the X coordinate. So saving this. Now when we are going to the next page, this previous button will be visible and it's going to be fading in. Here it is fading in, and when we click to this previous, it's going to be gone from the page, so it's going to be out, and this fly animation will be applied. So let's see it. Here the button is moved to the left of the screen. Let's repeat again. Here the button is flying out. And same thing also applies for the next button. So it is fading in and flying out. So this failure we are seeing here is because of the animation we are using. This next page link is visible. This test is checking the next page visibility, but in browser we can see the next page link is gone, but in test it is not gone because it is taking 200 milliseconds to complete the animation. So we are not waiting that amount of time to make sure that element is gone. One solution could be updating our test to make sure we wait until that next page element is gone, or we can remove the out animation. By the way, this behavior is not just breaking this test. If we navigate to, let's say, to sign up page, let's see what's going to happen here. As you can see, there is a flash of amount of time that list is visible there. So let's see it one more time. Clicking login. Here the login was visible. After the list, then the list is gone. And that's happening because this animation is taking time, and that's affecting our layout behaviors. So let's fix this issue by removing the out animation and just keeping the in animation in our elements. Now the tests are passing, and this animation is only applied when this previous is added to the screen. When we are removing it, it is just directly disappeared. And also, if we navigate to other pages, it is immediately navigating them. So we no longer see that mixed rendering.